Yeah, I know I'm late on covering this particular movie, but just bear with me. If you watched the last Ruining Your Faves video, then you'd know I had a very terrible cough because of the AC that I left on one night, and that was just horrible. But before you all say that I'm way too late in covering this movie, just know that it was released in the UK last week. And yeah, Chemistry Productions focuses more on American media, but this is an American film in another country, so that still counts, I'd say. Yep, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I don't care. So for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, maybe over in the UK, just know this video has spoilers. Scott Lang is the Ant-Man character and Hope Van Dyne is the Wasp character. Wasp. Why can't I pronounce that word? So pretty much Ant-Man and the Wasp, they go into the quantum realm to try and save Hope Van Dyne's mother. And the quantum realm is this other dimension, and I'm not really going to get into that dimension, but it's a big part of the movie. So for those of you who've seen Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a good way to get over that depression you felt at the end of the movie when everybody died. Okay, not everybody died at the end of Infinity War, but a lot of people did. The character I want to focus on is Lewis. Now Lewis and Scott Lang met in prison. Scott went to prison for trying to take money from a corporation that was wronging its customers and trying to give that money back to the customers. Lewis was arrested for stealing 2 smoothie machines. Way to go, Lewis. The history behind Scott and Lewis is talked about in the first Ant-Man film. Now in this film, Lewis has 2 associates named Dave and Kurt, and they start a business called Ex-Con Security Consultants. Now Dave and Kurt are also ex-convicts, and pretty much their services help other businesses with criminal problems. So if a store was worried about ex-criminals trying to break in and steal their things, they would go to Ex-Con Security Consultants in order to get their services and help on how to prevent this from happening. But their business isn't doing too well until the end of the movie, where they're featured on the news after stopping a black market trafficker named Sonny Birch. And that's great for Lewis and his business, but at one point in the movie, Lewis says something along the lines of, "Do you know how hard it is for an ex-con to find work?" And I wanted to hone in on this because that is actually true. Ex-convicts have a hard time finding jobs because of this stigma that's put on them. The stigma is that they're going to disrupt the workplace, or that they're going to be a liability, they might steal, they might cause violence. Oddly enough though, most workplace violence occurs from people not associated with the company or the business. And if any criminal activity were to occur in a business or a company, it usually happens at the hands of somebody who doesn't have a criminal record. But yeah, there is a liability thing. Employers feel that if they hire an ex-convict that their business will be tainted or that they'll lose their credibility. This in turn could lead ex-convicts to having horrible health conditions because they can't have a job, therefore they can't survive, they can't take care of themselves, and then obviously ex-cons have a hard time voting. Research shows that about 60% of ex-convicts are still unemployed after a year of not being incarcerated. What could be done to remedy this is education about the plight of ex-convicts, or having employers have personal contact with these people. But here's another solution. So a movement started back in 2003 by a group called All of Us or None, a grassroots organization, actually wanted to do something called Ban the Box. So if you ever filled out a job application before, then you know there's a box on there that asks about criminal history. What Ban the Box does is get rid of this box and tries to help ex-convicts or people with a criminal history have a better chance at getting a job. Obviously it doesn't get rid of background checks, but it gives employers a better chance to know their potential employees before they hire them. Who knows, maybe ex-cons could look better on paper, which gives employers a better chance at hiring a better employee. But obviously not anyone with a criminal background could get any type of job. For example, a pedophile is not going to be a school teacher. Oh hell no! So Ban the Box is definitely a good idea towards helping ex-convicts get reintegrated back into society. And this is important because if ex-cons get jobs, this helps society as a whole. I mean, did you know that unemployment makes it more likely for ex-criminals or ex-convicts to catch another case or re-offend? So yeah, we don't want that happening. Anyways, that wraps it up for this video. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.
Chemistry Productions.